All right, multiplication is shorthand for repeated addition. So when you have 5 plus 5 plus 5, that's 5 added 3 times, or 3 times 5. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 7 4 times. So that's 4 times 7. Multiplication is commutative. Which means that 4 times 7 is the same thing as 7 times 4. We use multiplication to find the area of a rectangle. If you have a rectangle that's 3 feet by 4 feet, then the area is the length times the width, or 3 times 4, which is 12. When you multiply feet times feet, you get square feet. So that's 12 square feet. And you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And just for information, 1 square foot is a square that's 1 foot by 1 foot. The numbers that are being multiplied are called factors. The result of a multiplication is called the product. Division is just the inverse of multiplication. So if 2 times 3 is 6, division tells you how many 3's are in 6. If 5 times 7 is 35, division tells you how many 7's are in 35. Any number multiplied by 1 gives you the same number. So how many 1's are in 5? 5. Is there any number that you can multiply by 0 and get 3? Well, the answer to that is no. And that's why 3 divided by 0, there's no such number. So that's called undefined. However, what's 0 times 4? Well, that's going to be 0. So 0 divided by 4 is 0. Think of it this way. If you have no pizza and you want to split it up among your 4 friends, each friend gets 0 pizzas. So multiplication is commutative. You can multiply in any order, but division is not commutative. 45 divided by 9 is not the same as 9 divided by 45. So when dividing, the order is important. A fraction is another way of writing a division. So 42 divided by 6 is the same thing as the fraction 42 over 6. The number on the top is called the numerator. The number on the bottom is called the denominator. So if you have 3 divided by 5, what fraction would that be? Well, if you thought 3 over 5, you would be correct. 10 divided by 3 would be what fraction? There are 3 ways that you could write any given division statement. 35 divided by 7 is the same as 7 divided into 35, which is the same as 35 over 7. We can make a mnemonic device to help you remember that. F-I-T for first, inside, and top. And that refers to the location of the number that's being divided. So 35 is being divided, it goes first, or it's the number that's inside, or it's the number that's on the top. So if you had any one of these, you should be able to write it the other 2 ways. Let's try a couple of examples. If you have 2 divided by 11, take a moment and write it the other 2 ways. All right, since 2 is first, that's the number that goes on the inside. And it's the number that's first, also goes on top. Let's try another one. You have 7 divided by 15. Try to write it the other 2 ways. Well, the 7 is first, so it should go inside. And the number that's first also goes on top. I gave you 3 over 13. You should be able to write it the other 2 ways. Well, the number that's on top also goes first. And it's the number that goes on the inside. If I gave you 2 divided into 17, well, that's the number that's inside. It should also go first. And that's the number that goes on top. Let's do an example of a long division. So first, does 9 go into 1? And that would be no. So you could put a 0 or just leave it blank. Go to the next column. Does 9 go into 18? That goes in 2 times. 2 times 9 is 18. Subtract. Bring down a 0. Then you bring down the next number. Does 9 go into 2? It does not go in, so I'll put a 0 as a placeholder. And you bring down the next number. Does 9 go into 29? It goes in 3 times. And the remainder is 2. So the 2 is still being divided by 9. 2 divided by 9 is written as this fraction. So 9 goes into 1829 203 times, and the remainder is 2/9.